minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
Manchester
1,
United have
0.
reached the promised land.
Well. We spoke this morning about the fact that it should be announced today, and I'm happy to say right here on United People's TV, you've seen it elsewhere, but Manchester United have officially confirmed the appointment of Erik Ten Hag as our new manager. I went live this morning. I said it. Hopefully it was going to happen today, and we've got it there, baby. Ten Hag is in, and you're damn right I've got a big smile on my face. Back in November, I said, you know what would be a dream situation? Getting Ralph Rangnick in on a short-term basis and getting Erik Ten Hag in as our next permanent manager. And I'll tell you what, Manchester United have only gone and done it. They've only gone and done it. I'm going to run through the official announcement. I'm going to run through Erik Ten Hag's first comments as well, not as a Manchester United manager, but as a Manchester United manager to be. Also from John Murto, you're going to let me know what you think in the comments below. Collins, you're saying we actually reached the promised land. We're not there yet, but I tell you what, I've got a big smile on my face because this is a big moment for us, for our club, and this feels different to appointments before, and I've said this before, but look, let's head over to the official website for the announcement. Here it is. Manchester United have appointed Erik Ten Hag as manager. Let's see what the statement says. Manchester United is delighted to announce the appointment of Erik Ten Hag as the men's first team manager, subject to work visa requirements from the end of the season until June 2025, with the option to extend for a further year. So that is a 3-year contract for Erik Ten Hag with the option to extend by 1 further year. This is what John Murto has had to say about the appointment. During the past 4 years at Ajax, Erik has proved himself to be one of the most exciting and successful coaches in Europe, renowned for his team's attractive attacking football and commitment to youth. In our conversations with Erik leading up to the appointment, we were deeply impressed with his long-term vision for returning Manchester United to the level we want to be competing at, and his drive and determination to achieve that. We wish Erik the best of luck as he focuses on achieving a successful end to the season at Ajax, and look forward to welcoming him to Manchester United this summer. Ladies and gents, what do you think about that in the comments? Man, I'm going to wait. We'll run through Erik Ten Hag's first comments as well. Loads of you in the comments here. What we're saying, this is the start. I can't wait. Why not get a British manager? Red John, that is a hilarious comment. Thank you very much for that. That puts a big smile on my face. Good news for United. Welcome, says Climb. You were right, says Gareth. Bang on, mate. Look, sometimes you can see the future. You can see what you feel would be right for your club. But the club, as far as Manchester United goes, rarely does that. This is where that's a bit of... That's why I feel a bit positive, man. As positive as I can feel after the fact that we got spanked by Liverpool 4-0. But come on, man. Look at that. Welcome, Ten Hag, in the comments, indeed. Many players should leave, Jerome. Look, I've said that I've been holding back on doing too many transfer videos until Ten Hag was official and announced. That's now happened, right? So I'm here speaking about that, and there's so much more to come. There's so much change to come at Manchester United. Jim Lawler, Marcel Bout, they're the beginnings of an exit of what didn't work for Manchester United and the beginnings of something that hopefully will work for Manchester United. And Ten Hag will be at the wheel of that, hopefully, with Mitchell van der Gag. I'm going to run through David Ornstein's. There's loads to run through here. This is all breaking news here on United People's TV. I'm going to cover it as much as I possibly can for you. And there in the comments saying patience is now required. That is required, but hey, man, let's get excited about Ten Hag. Let's see what Erik has had to say about the appointment. He said this: "It is a great honor to be appointed manager of Manchester United, and I'm hugely excited by the challenge ahead. I know the history of this great club and the passion of the fans, and I'm absolutely determined to develop a team capable of delivering the success they deserve. It will be difficult to leave Ajax after these incredible years, and I can assure our fans of my complete commitment and focus on bringing this season to a successful conclusion before I move to Manchester United." Absolutely spot on there from Ten Hag, who, of course, is still in a race for the Eredivisie title. That is exactly what he's going to be focusing on. But he's Manchester United manager, man. Look, I've got a huge smile on my face. You're damn right I've got a smile on my face. This is exactly what I wanted. This is exactly what I wanted. I'll tell you what, look, I'll head down to the comments here. I'll leave that up there. Let's leave that nice. Look at that. How good is that? How good does that look and feel? Let me pull that up nice full screen. Oh, yeah. That's a beauty. That is a beauty. Look, everyone's excited. Everyone's buzzing. Doesn't mean that we're going to be winning everything straight away. Far, far, far from it. But it means here that we are at the beginning of a new chapter. And I suppose Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was a new chapter. I suppose Moyes was, and Van Gaal was, and Mourinho was. But the thing the caveat I would say to all of you here is this is different. This is the beginning of Manchester United starting to act like a football club. The changes are beginning behind the scenes. The man that we've got at the very top of the tree is good, but we've still got to build that tree up. We've got the man who's going to steer it ultimately, and the man who will either fall on his own sword or bring success back to us. But we need to bring the army behind him. The wrong people are still there. He doesn't have it. But as Stormtrooper rightly says there, the beginning of a new rebuild. Congratulations. Maybe you're not a United fan, but look, as I've said this before as well, this is the first appointment managerially that I think we have made post-Fergie that other clubs can go and look at us and go, I'm worried about that. I'm worried about what United will be like under him. I don't think that was the case with Van Gaal. Of course, they were a little bit worried about Mourinho, but everybody felt deep down, let's be honest, that Mourinho was past it. And nobody was scared about Solskjaer. Josh, how you doing there, man? You're buzzing. We're all buzzing. Tyler, you're joining as a member. Let me know where you're watching from, mate. I'll try and give you a shout out. I don't care what Joel Glazer thinks. Ultimately, I suppose we've got to be happy that Joel Glazer gave the thumbs up to Erik Ten Hag. I don't know. Let's run into a bit more information. Run into it. Why not? From David Ornstein and Laurie Whitwell. This is their article on the announcement from Manchester United. This is what they're saying. Manchester United have confirmed the appointment of Ajax head coach Erik Ten Hag as a new manager. The Athletic revealed on April the 12th that we had reached an agreement. The Dutchman's release clause was not activated by United. Instead, it is understood United and Ajax reached an agreement separate to the clause in his contract. That's interesting. I wonder why that is the case. Maybe they would have been entitled to less money. Maybe, I'm sure it's some sort of legal reason right there, because it was only like 2 million anyway. He has signed a 3-year contract with the option for an additional year. Ten Hag wants to bring assistant manager Mitchell van der Gag with him from Ajax. The Athletic understands everything pointing towards Mitchell following Erik to Manchester. Ten Hag will replace Ralph Rangnick, who has been working as an interim manager. Rangnick's United have come under intense scrutiny. Blah, 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 blah. PSG head coach Poch had also been on United's shortlist, but the club ultimately opted against appointing the former Spurs boss. Yes, we did. And I think that was a smart decision. I really, really do. Ten Hag, blah, 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 blah. That's all just blah. Filler. That's the good news. That's the sweet, sweet news we've been waiting for. You let me know what you think about it in the comments. What's your need? Now that it's done, what do we do? Now that it's done, how does the focus change? All those players need to be looking at that appointment and going, you know what? I know how Ajax play. You can go and ring Donny van der Beek if you want to get a bit of inside scoop on it. The way that squad is playing, 90% of them are going to be booted into the skip by Erik Ten Hag. They don't stand a chance of keeping their bumper wages and their comfortable life that they've built in Manchester. If they want to hold on to that, they'll fucking buck their ideas up, starting with Arsenal and Chelsea. 5 games left this season, right? Let's see if there's any sort of reaction from these players. We all thought that there might be a reaction because we're still in the top 4 chase. That wasn't enough. We thought there might be a reaction because of what Rangnick's been trying to say to them. That wasn't enough. How about the fact that if you don't buck up now, you are leaving Manchester United? Because Erik Ten Hag will take no shit. He will take no prisoners. In the same way that, it's a bit different, but similar-ish. The word philosophy, if we're talking about Manchester United's managers, Louis van Gaal was a manager that we really associated that with. He was a little bit too stubborn and a little bit too old school in his methods. Ten Hag has that same stubbornness, but in a modern day sense. He's got progressive style of football. It's coming with the modern times. It's suited to the modern game. And it's very, very exciting. And as was said in the comments this morning, he's a bit of a drill master. He will drill these players. They will either come on board or they will just get thrown overboard. He will take no passengers. Got Daryl saying this is the best news that we have been waiting for. It's fantastic news. Daniel saying the next move is to filter out the rot. Absolutely. This is just the beginning. That's something that I think all United fans understand, and all other fans will be, I don't know, looking at us and hopefully and willing us to fail. But look, as Anthony says down there, look, his motto, United, he should be if he's watching top tier content, average content sometimes. But look, we spoke about this back in, didn't we? October, November time. It was during that international break where we assessed all the possible interim managers. And for me, Rangnick made sense. And for me, following Rangnick, Ten Hag made sense. I call that continuity. I can see that ultimately the foundations that Rangnick has tried to instill in these players, he hasn't been able to do. As we spoke about from that article from Sam Wallace this morning, a lot of entitled players, a lot of players who are just comfortable in their own environment. They can't be changed. But that sort of gegenpressing system, the 4-2-2, had he been able to do that properly, it would have set the perfect foundations for Erik Ten Hag to come in. The fact that the players haven't responded does half of Ten Hag's job for him. If Ralph Rangnick wasn't here as interim manager and Michael Carrick had stuck to playing, what was it, a 4-2-3-1, I think we played, stuck with the Solskjaer formation, and we continued towards the end of the season, we may well have had a better end to this season, but then Erik Ten Hag would have gone in during the preseason, and that would have been the first time that these players have been exposed to this gegenpressing, to this intense, far, far more intense physically system of football. And it would have taken him some time to weed out the problems, to see where they were. Instead, Ralph Rangnick has taken those bullets for Erik. Ralph Rangnick, he'll be the fall guy for this season, but it will make his job 10 times easier when he comes in. That is something to really, really think about as well. I'm not a fortune teller. If I did add a lot of numbers, I definitely wouldn't give them to you, Matt. No offense. Mud, you're saying important thing Erik Ten Hag is he gets the team needed to implement his gameplay. We really need a young, hungry team and not just individual stars, obviously. Absolutely. That's something that has to happen. But yeah, that really is a big, big reason why I think Ten Hag and Rangnick, and the continuity is there between the two styles of what Rangnick wanted to bring to Manchester United, what these players simply couldn't be asked to do. Try and do that with Erik Ten Hag. Really, I'd love to see what you do there. Let me go over here and see if there's any sort of Ajax. There's a statement again from Edwin van der Sar. Let's have a look. Ajax have released a statement. Let me pull their statement up as well. There we go. Right. Don't say I don't treat you well. Sometimes here on United People's TV, make sure you drop a like on the video. Let's get this up on screen. And this is the official statement from Ajax. So let's read through this and read through what Edwin van der Sar had to say. It said, Ajax and Manchester United have agreed a deal for Erik Ten Hag. Ajax and United have reached an agreement for the transfer of Erik Ten Hag to the English club. Ten Hag has been head coach since January 2018 and will leave after this season. 70% off in the sales. Lovely. Edwin van der Sar, this is what he said. 4.5 years is a good amount of time, but we would have liked to have kept Erik at Ajax for longer. He is going to make the step to one of the biggest clubs in the world in a fantastic league. We owe Erik a lot of thanks for what he has achieved with Ajax so far, but we are not done yet. At the end of the season, I will look back more extensively on his departure. For now, what matters is the final games of the season in which we all want to bring home the league title. Now, obviously, that's him there with the double, which he's done twice there with Ajax. Unfortunately, he won't do that this season because, of course, PSV beat them in the final. And I've said this before, and I stand by it. I think Ajax players are going to rally and really give him a send-off. I've thought about it. I think I definitely will. I really want to go over to Amsterdam for Ten Hag's final, for the parade that happens. Hopefully after they win the league. And I won't tempt fate by saying that. But look, if there is a parade at the end, I think I'm going to go over to Amsterdam, film it, get some footage on the ground, maybe speak to a few Ajax fans. I really want to get the feeling, because from what I can see on the outside looking in, Ajax fans absolutely love Erik Ten Hag and what he has done for the club. And Edwin van der Sar, man, look, if you want to follow Erik, it'll be fine. We'll make room for you. Jeez, imagine he came. And that's what we can dream about now. Because if you think about it, in the same way that back in November, I was like, right, it makes sense to me, the logic of Rangnick on a short term, Ten Hag on a permanent deal. It also makes logic in my head that Rangnick is here for 2 years in a consultant's position. And then in 2 years' time, Edwin van der Sar comes in. And all of a sudden, we've got Edwin van der Sar genuinely as a proper director of football with experience. And then we've got Erik Ten Hag as our manager. And we have 2 of the 3 pieces of that Ajax trio that was so successful. hey, it's something to think about. Again, if you're looking at logic, it makes perfect sense. Yeah, United don't really do perfect sense, but look, it does make sense. Let's see what else they've done down here. Ten Hag. I'm happy that it has been finalized and that it has now been officially announced. That clarity is important, but I only have one interest now, and that's these last 5 games. I want to finish my time here on a positive note by winning the league. By doing so, we'll qualify directly for the Champions League, and Ajax belongs there. Woohoo! Oh, man. I'm happy. Of course I'm happy. Of course you're happy. We're all happy. It's big news, man. It's big. It's the news that we've been... It's sort of the worst kept secret over the last week or two, isn't it? But we were still waiting and waiting. So Thursday, 21st of April. Shit, actually spot on. I said, damn, I'm a prophet. I remember doing the first video. If I was to go back through here and I was to look at the video, let me try and do this. If I was to look back at the videos that we've done here on United People's TV, I specifically remember it about a month ago was the first time that I said about Ten Hag, not about Ten Hag, but we were speaking about Ten Hag, and I said, you know what? It makes sense because I think that was that was after we had interviewed Ten Hag for the first time. I said, we need to make an announcement, but I think by the 22nd of April, I said, and they've done it on the 21st. Boom, look at that. 2 out of 2. We've done it. We've done it. So look, Salim, how you doing, buddy? Sam, you need to start a video for the fan base. It's going to take time to build. He doesn't have a magic ball. Yeah, I will do that. Don't worry. There's going to be lots and lots of United content coming out. United content? Ten Hag content. I'm going to be doing a video on his tactics at Manchester United. What could his starting 11 look like in his first game? Say we made no signings, what would it look like? Who would stay? I'll be doing that. I'm going to be doing a video on Mitchell van der Gag on his approach. I'm going to be interviewing somebody who's just written a book on Ajax and Ten Hag. Lots and lots of good stuff coming. Stefan, nothing really. We've just announced Erik Ten Hag as our next manager. Not much. That's kind of a minor announcement, really. If you see what else is going on Twitter and see if anything else is being said. Anything else you want me to look at, you let me know. Samuel Luckhurst saying that Manchester United were confident of securing Ten Hag as far back as January. The deal was effectively done a couple of weeks ago, but the announcement was partly hastened by suggestions that Leipzig could go in. I thought the Leipzig stuff was a bit weird. As I said, Leipzig have had a pretty damn decent season. I don't know why they would sack their manager all of a sudden. We've got Thura watching from Japan. How you doing? I'd love to visit Japan at some point. Christian, how's his English? I'm sure you must have seen it before, people. Go and check it on YouTube. He's had full interviews in English. His English might not be as good as his Dutch, naturally. That's his native tongue. But his English isn't a problem. It's not going to be like Marcel. It's not going to be like Bielsa standing in a press conference with some moody bloke next to him who's translating. Erik Ten Hag can speak English. I'm sure, no doubt, I'm sure that he is going to be learning and he'll be improving his English as he goes on. But that's not a problem whatsoever. For anybody who's just joining in, welcome to United People's TV. Welcome to the big announcement of Erik Ten Hag being our next manager. We had the Dutch energy on the wall there, and it paid off. It didn't do anything to do with the manager, but it seemed to work. It made me feel better about myself. So Erik Ten Hag has been announced. If we look at what John Murtough has said about the appointment, I'll run through it one more time for anybody who's just joining in. So during the past 4 years, Erik has proved himself to be one of the most exciting and successful coaches in Europe, renowned for his team's attractive and attacking football and commitment to youth. In our conversation with Erik leading up to the appointment, this is an important thing that we need to talk about there. This bit. In our conversations with Erik leading up to this appointment, we were deeply impressed with his long-term vision for United, returning it to the level we want to be competing at, with his drive and determination to achieve that. That's it. That's the difference here, I believe. You could never have had that conversation with Jose Mourinho. It was impossible. It wasn't Jose Mourinho's style of football. He wasn't building for the long term. He was building for tomorrow to make that team as strong as possible, to win the league that season. If it didn't work, then it wasn't a success. Ten Hag is going to build something sustainable. Something that after he leaves, there should be another version of Ten Hag that can come in and play this identity. That's what makes Ajax so great. Ten Hag will be leaving. They'll bring in a new manager. They were looking at Peter Bosz, who I think was the assistant under Ten Hag in 2018-19, but I don't think he's going to stay there. But the idea that the long-term vision is what we need, man. We can't be focusing on winning the league next year. You just saw what happened when we we played the team who were competing for the league. How far are we away from that? A long time. So we need to go on our 3-year plan. A mini start. I'm not going to say starting, but starting had his 5-year plans. We need to go on our plans and stick to it now. Actually, really stick to it. And the reason I'm excited at that concept of continuity, it's a big buzzword that I've used quite a lot of times. For me, Rangnick to Ten Hag, if Rangnick had been able to get it with these players, the continuity would have been there between the football. There will be huge continuity between Ten Hag and whoever comes in after him. That's a big thing as well, man. That's an exciting thing as well. That means that, and that's what I said about the Ajax style. I kind of got distracted there. Ajax have got a style that means that when Ten Hag leaves and the next manager comes in, they're still going to play like Ajax. You're going to look at that team and go, that is Ajax. They won't lose their identity between managers, which is what we've done completely. We've lost our identity from Fergie to Moyes, and it was all abolished basically by that time. And then you've got Van Gaal who came in and tried to, and then Mourinho, and then Solskjaer, and then Rangnick, and then we've got Erik Ten Hag. Yeah. Now we are talking business. Nagelsmann after Ten Hag. Let's see. Let's not talk about the next manager before we've even got the this manager in through the door. Let me see if there's anything else being said about it. Oh, I like that edit. That edit's going to come on the screen. Very nice. Cold. That's what we call that. Cold. Let me bring that up full screen for you here, baby. Yeah, look at that. That's what we want to see, isn't it? Erik Ten Hag standing in Old Trafford. Got his club suit on. Yeah, look at that. Absolutely. Oh, let's plan for it, man. Let's get excited. I know it's hard to get excited like less than 48 hours after we've just been humiliated at Anfield. But genuinely, people, this club is different now. This club is starting to act differently now. And I know the pains of the last 8 years or so have stained an optimistic outlook from most Manchester United fans, but you don't have to be. Genuinely, I think there's reason to be a little bit optimistic about what comes next for United. About what nobody's expecting Premier Leagues and trebles and all that shit straight away. We are just, it feels like we're on a different path. It feels like we've started at least to try and change the train tracks. We've been heading in one direction for so long with the same train drivers. We booted that train driver off, but we weren't able to stop that train from moving in the wrong direction. Now we've started to, and we've changed direction a little bit, and Rangnick has started to try and get that train moving, but there's a ton of shit weight at the back of it. So we've got to start throwing all that weight off. No, I like my analogy. My analogy works here. Very happy with this one. And the train will start moving in that direction now. And then when you start putting the right fuel into it, getting rid of Marcel Bout, that's some weight off the back. Jim Lawler, weight off the back. Pogba, Matic, Mata, Lingard, weight off the back. Jones, Martial, weight off the back. Ten Hag, new driver. Mitchell, he's the one fueling the coal in. I've already gone quite long in this train analogy. I should probably stop now. But you get the point, all right? Our club was moving in the wrong direction for a long time. And now we're heading in the right direction under a new management, and especially behind the scenes. That's the thing that's crippled United. That's been our straitjacket. Without taking that off, we haven't been able to do anything. John Murtough is doing good work. There's still more work to do. Marcel Bout and Jim Lawler, that's part of the puzzle. But what about Steve Brown? What about Matt Judge? There needs to be improvement there as well. And in my opinion, we need to get Paul Mitchell in, baby. I think it was David Ornstein a couple of weeks ago. He said that Manchester United, hopefully we're going to get some news on a deputy director within the next couple of weeks. That's what we need, man. That's what I will actually probably shit the bed if we get Paul Mitchell in. After all of this, to get Paul Mitchell on top of that will be incredible. Now we talk transfers and tactics. Over to you, Seth. Yeah, well, that's coming up soon. Lou, welcome to Manchester United. Erik Ten Hag, indeed. Alfred, you want us to get Paul Mitchell. Srujan, you're saying, are you sure this is the right direction? No, I'm not sure this is the right direction. But I tell you what was the wrong direction is where we were heading. We're yet to see whether this is the right direction or not. But there's optimism, at the very least, that we've stopped heading in the wrong direction. All right? That's where my excitement comes from. I'm not saying that Erik Ten Hag is the archangel that is going to solve all Manchester United's problems. Hell, man, it might not work out. There's no guarantee of that whatsoever. But Erik Ten Hag signifies something different that the club is doing now. and something that they absolutely need to get right now, and that's recruitment. There's so many things at United. There's so many priorities that it's hard to... This is why you need so many good people inside the football club. Because in my opinion, the idea of getting rid of players is just as important as bringing players in. And they are two different conversations. So you can't really expect one person to be doing both of those things. You need two people. Maybe not. I don't know how it works. But you need the right heads in. John Murtough, as I said, in terms of football director decisions, Rangnick, Ten Hag, Bout and Lawler leaving, I think what's happened since he has come in has been very positive for the club. And let's see what comes on next. I'm sure that there is so much more to happen here. This is just the beginning. As I said, just the beginning. We keep rebuild, revolution, whatever description you want to call it. It's the beginning of it. Sam Lawson, how you doing here, buddy? So good morning. And here we go. First 3 buys and first 3 sells releases this summer. First 3 releases are very easy. Lingard gone, Pogba gone, Matic gone. In terms of player sales, Phil Jones top of my list, and Anthony Martial will be top. Probably the 2 names that come straight to mind, Andreas Pereira. They're probably the 3 sales without thinking, really. Now, I know some of you disagree with the idea that Martial should be given a bigger chance, but I don't particularly think that is the case. In terms of 3 transfers, we know it. 1 central defensive midfielder, 1 striker, and either a centre-back or another central defensive midfielder. In a dream world, you probably go powerhouse central defensive midfielder, world-class number 9, top draw, ball-playing centre-back. Ideally, you look to that. And the thing that you can really do now is you can really, 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 truly identify the right players to sign, because our manager, Erik Ten Hag, has a very specific style of play. With Solskjaer, what were we? At our best, we were probably a very, very lethal counter-attacking team. That's what we did. Sat deep, hit hard, broke the defensive transitions with balls over the top, had players with pace who were running, and when they were on form, they were clinical too. Under Ten Hag, there will be a focus on possession. There will be a focus on playing a high line. There will be a focus on pressing out of possession. It very much is a very defined style of football, more so than I think anything that we've had at United for a long, long time. And therefore, it makes the scout's job easier in one sense, more difficult in another, because you know exactly what you need to find, but maybe that narrows down your options, if you know what I mean. But it should mean that United start hitting the dartboard a bit more with our transfers, because we've just gone like Paul Pogba, Mkhitaryan, Di Maria, Pop. We've just been missing the board every single... No, Pogba wasn't a miss, all right? But it wasn't a treble 20. We need more treble 20s. We need more bullseyes. And that, I think, will be something that's needed, and that's something exactly why Jim Lawler and Marcel Bout are leaving. You got Rohan saying, it's official. Yeah, baby, come on. Where have you been for the last 25 minutes? Senna, how you doing, buddy? Look, there's an Ajax fan in the comments. Thank you very much for leaving this comment, my friend. Ajax fan here. Good luck to Erik Ten Hag next season. He changed Ajax. Will he do it for Man United? I'm excited for the next manager for Ajax. Rumors say Schroeder, who is Erik Ten Hag. Oh, yeah, that's the guy I was talking about. I know, but I thought it was Peter Bosz, but no, it's Schroeder. Sorry, I got the name wrong. But look, I wish the absolute best of luck to Ajax for the rest of the season. As I said, Senna, earlier, I absolutely intend to go to... I want to come to Amsterdam. I want to be in Amsterdam for that day, hopefully, fingers crossed, that you win the league. I want to come and see what goes on there. I want to speak to some Ajax fans, see what the feeling is, what the goodbye is going to be for Erik Ten Hag. I think that'll be a really cool video to do. Keep leaving your comments, man. This is the Erik Ten Hag announcement show. Get your questions in, get your opinions in. Any questions you feel like I haven't answered, you let me know in the comments, and I will try and get all that up here. What's going on here? Oh, United released a little video. Oh, yes, please. Come on in. Let me get that bad boy up. Boy. There's loads of stuff coming out. Made in the Netherlands, ready for Manchester. Ooh, hypey. Let's get this bad boy up here. Let's go full screen. Made in the Netherlands, ready for Manchester. Erik Ten Hag's next step is United. The canals of Amsterdam there. Let's bring this bad boy up. You won't be able to hear the volume, though. Sorry about that. Just a bit loud noise. Anyway, Erik Ten Hag. I'm hypey, man. I'm hypey. You're damn right I am. Hog. Yeah, boy. Look at that. Absolutely. Big smile on my face. Big smile on my face. I'm just running through all the reaction that's happening. Mark, you're saying, piss Maguire off. I can't imagine how frustrated you guys are. Hey, Mark, thanks for your super chat there, buddy. But you've well, you've hit the nail there. We're all very frustrated. I've done my videos on Harry Maguire, and we all are sort of very similar. Tell you what, actually, Melissa Reddy from Sky's chief reporter, said that there's now murmurs, starting to hear noises from internally at Manchester United that people are starting to lose faith in Maguire's ability to lead the defence. I mean, water is wet and all that. We've known that for a long, long time. This is an interesting one. Look at that. We've got a little bit here from Yapstam himself. Let me pull this one up. Make sure you keep leaving your comments in, ladies and gents. I'll try and answer as many as I can. This is a live reaction. I am just doing it as it happens and trying to bring you updates as and when. That's called multitasking. Sometimes I'm good at it. You don't need volume here. You just need to read these comments. Yapstam's reaction to Erik Ten Hag's appointment. What he's been doing in Holland, probably he's going to try to do the same in England. You need to have time to do this. Do you get time? That's always an issue for a coach. Yapstam there raising concerns that maybe Erik Ten Hag won't be given the time needed to make the changes that he wants to do at Manchester United. I personally think that he will get that time. And it won't be time through stubbornness. Solskjaer being sacked when he was sacked, I believe, was down to a little bit of stubbornness behind the... But they're like, no, we're going to get proven right. We will be proven right. We will be proven correct. Oh, never mind. It will be given time because he's been hired. As I said, the only reason that Ten Hag, remember this, right? The only reason that this bloke actually signed that contract is because we gave him guarantees, written guarantees inside that contract that it's not just going to be, you've been crap for a year, sacked. You've had no say over transfers. I'll control the transfers. No, he's got it all written and part of that contract. And that's a huge, huge difference. And the idea that we're now on this 3-year journey, let's call it a 3-year journey if you want. Next season is all about laying all the foundations. To get a system like Ten Hag's into a football club is no mean feat. It's very intense. It's very drilled. It's everything that these players haven't had for a long time. Everything that these players have needed. Everything that United fans have wanted. They need to be professionals. They need to be athletes if they're going to be playing inside this Ten Hag system. And so many of them will not fit it. They will not suit it. And they'll be like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm going elsewhere. And Toodle Pip. Done. Dusted. I'm happy about it. Ricky. I like that comment there. Why can't we have a love this button? I love this. I love this whole situation. I love the idea that, oh, man, it's good, man. There's going to be players that are crapping themselves. Tell you what, Donny van der Beek is probably doing cartwheels in his living room. I'm reserving judgment on Donny van der Beek. I personally don't think he's done enough with the Premier League opportunities that he's been given, whilst also at the same time agreeing that maybe he hasn't been given enough opportunities. And I remember those arguments at a time when it was Fred and McTominay playing week in, week out, even though we were poor. We've got Gautam saying, any comments on his start of play? I'm going to be doing tactical videos on this. Don't worry about that. But yeah, his start of play, we know it. You know how Ajax play. You don't have to have too much football knowledge to understand how Ajax play. It's the total football. It's football in triangles. It's good passing movement. It's overlapping runs. It's always making yourself available for the pass. One thing you'd always notice about Ajax when they play is, and that's something that's so infuriating about watching United, sometimes you got Pogba looking up for a pass and he's like, oh, where the fuck is everyone? Like, everyone's hiding behind a player. No one's like darting, trying to lose their man, trying to run into space, trying to drop 10 yards. That doesn't happen at Ajax. It doesn't happen with Erik Ten Hag. There's always players making themselves available for the ball. But yeah, I'll do tactical videos. I've already done a big in-depth video on the philosophy of Erik Ten Hag, which I'm sure some of you will watch. If you just go on the channel after, there's an Erik Ten Hag playlist. It's in there. But yeah, man, I'm excited. Look, fitness balance. You said Donny in, Pogba out. I think that will happen. Obviously, Pogba's leaving. And I think that Donny will come in and replace some of those minutes. And I think it should be between Donny van der Beek and Hannibal Mejbri for kind of replacing what, realistically, they won't replace the quality of Pogba. That no one's saying that is the case. But in terms of bodies inside that squad, that's where the minutes will go. So we don't technically need to spend money on replacing Pogba, and I don't really want us to. I want us to spend that money, central defensive midfielder, striker, centre-back. Get those 3 key... And that's more than achievable for United this summer. 3 key signings. 4 players leaving on out of contract. Ideally, 2 to 3 more players being sold. That's for between 6 and 7 leaving and 3 coming in. Plus Hannibal coming into being a first-team player. Plus James Garner coming in to be a first-team player. That's 5 new faces in the squad. That's 6, 7 out, 5 in, and we've only signed 3 players. Hell, just hire me, United. Don't. Bebo, do you think Chong will fit in Ten Hag's system? Interestingly, Chong was speaking, wasn't he? He said that Manchester United have been following my progress, and they're happy with it. So I'm going to be part of the pre-season plans. Of course, last pre-season, it was Anthony Elanga who broke through. Facundo Pellistri also impressed. So we could see Pellistri coming in. We could see Diallo coming in. That's 1, 2, plus Garner, plus Hannibal. That's 4 players, plus signing 3 players. That's 7 players. In and out. 7 in and out, whilst only signing 3. That could be fantastic. That could be exactly what United need. We do need young, hungry faces and players that want to make the name for themselves. Not players that already think, I've already made it. I'm done. I don't need to do any work. Stormtrooper, you're asking in the comments, does that mean that Fletcher's out? No, it doesn't. Fletcher, at this particular moment in time, is still our technical director. I'm going to be interested to see how his role is maybe changed over the next couple of months. That also depends on who else comes in. Hopefully, Paul Mitchell. But I think there'll be a little bit more clarity on what... I don't think we'll see Darren Fletcher on the touchline at the same time as seeing him as a technical director. I think that will change. Tenamengi and Mainu says, Ant down there. Mainu absolutely killing it with our under-18s. Everybody, by the way, make sure you watch. I'm not sure when it is. It's is it 30th of April? Anyway, if you've got the chance to go to it, under-18s are playing in the FA Youth Cup final at Old Trafford. £1 a ticket. £1. Go and support if you live in and around Manchester. You can go to it. It'll be a fantastic game to watch. Our first FA Youth Cup final since 2011. And that team had Lingard in it, Pogba in it, Ravel Morrison in it, Will Keane in it, Ryan Tunnicliffe. Who else in there? Loads in there. But a couple of big players. And Pogba, if I hadn't mentioned him. This team has obviously got Garnacho in it. It's got Charlie McNeil in it. Is it Hansen Uren in it? Mainu. There's some very exciting players inside that team. So if you can, watch it for sure. Is Edwin van der Sar joining too, says Shuck. Don't think he's joining right now. But as I said, look, if we looked in November and we said Rangnick and Ten Hag was the ideal situation, we've done that now. That's logic. The club's actually, in my opinion, made 2 very smart decisions. What could the next smart decision be? Rangnick after his 2-year consultancy role and Edwin van der Sar coming in. That gives Edwin van der Sar enough time to... 2 years is more than enough time to bring in a new manager inside that Ajax system and embed it and then leave Ajax in a good position. If he was to leave Ajax now, that would crucify Ajax as a football club. Already lost Overmars because of what he did. Losing Ten Hag at the end of the season. Van der Sar is not going to be leaving this summer. And he shouldn't. I don't think he will. I mean, he should. He should come to United. But that would really, as I said, be very bad for Ajax. So hopefully a couple of years Van der Sar can follow. And Ten Hag still 2 years into his plan, the perfect time to be Van der Sar in. Just be excited about the future, man. Be excited about the future. I've said this so many times on United People's TV, and I will continue to say it. For years and years and years and years and years, we've made the wrong decisions with the wrong people being in power at United, and we can only just be frustrated and angry as fans, and we couldn't really instigate the change we wanted. We just had to watch our club just kind of getting torn apart by egotistical people in power positions that shouldn't have been there. Ed Woodward's gone. Richard Arnold is genuinely delegating. Again, we heard Richard Arnold was going to delegate, and what have we seen since? Smart decisions. So far, Richard Arnold is following through on his promise of delegation, and John Murtough is doing a good job at it. I still think we need more. That's why Marcel Bout leaving, Jim Lawler, good start. Bring Paul Mitchell in now. Move Matt Judge away. Move Matt Judge back to corporate if you want to, or just boot him out the club like Ed Woodward. Steve Brown, move him away from head of recruitment operations. Give that to Paul Mitchell. United are getting there, man. We're not there yet. More needs to be done, but United are getting there. Beyond, you're saying Ralph, director of football, Paul Mitchell, head of recruitment, Ten Hag, manager. Dream team, realistic, what will happen to Ralph? Don't think Ralph's going to go into a formalised position like that. It was my hope that when Ralph came in, that he would be moving into a director of football position. And maybe if he had had better results, that could have been a possibility. But I think because of other football we've been playing, that won't happen. Even though they are, in my opinion, separate conversations. Paul Mitchell, head of recruitment, can, and in my opinion, should still happen. And of course, we've got Ten Hag as a manager. Look, United are doing good here, man. Doing good. Mengi would be phenomenal at left back for some competition for sure. You've probably got Alvaro Fernandez who's going to be stepping ahead of him. 19-year-old, really smashing it with under 23s. He will be one to watch during the preseason for sure. Warren, the rebuild under Erik, Ten Hag and Ralph as a consulting sporting director excites me more for the next few years. Feels like a football manager game in real life. Yeah, man, we're just not used to watching United make the right decisions, are we? We're used to our club, let's be honest, just fucking it all up. We've spent $1 billion. I reiterate, over $1 billion on new signings. And we're in this position. That's incredible. That's incredible. Matthew Grant down here, you're saying, think realistically, it will take a few years until we get it right. But as long as we're going down the right path, I told you that train track analogy made sense. As long as we're on that right track and we keep heading there and we don't just do a U-turn and switch directions. It's what we did. Fergie to Moyes to Van Gaal to Mourinho to Solskjaer was just us chopping and changing halfway through, chopping and changing. That's what we need to stop now. This means that Manchester United moving forward, we're going to have this identity that Erik Ten Hag is going to Erik Ten Hag will leave a blueprint on Manchester United that should exist now for the next 10 plus years. After Erik Ten Hag leaves, we'll bring in another Erik Ten Hag style manager who will play a similar style of football. What we should see now being built in the next few years is a new look Manchester United that just stays there. In the same way that Manchester United under Fergie, it was synonymous. 4-4-2. It's how we played. 2 strikers, 2 wide players, 2 powerful central midfielders. We knew how United were playing. Always. And then we switched to a 4-3-3. We had Tevez and Rooney out wide. We have Ronaldo. No, Tevez and Ronaldo on the wing, on the 2 wings, I think, and then Rooney up front. Sod knows what it was, but Tevez and Rooney did the running for Ronaldo. We play 4-3-3. We had Carrick, Scholes, and Hargreaves or Anderson in midfield. We knew we were playing a 4-3-3. You knew how United were going to play. We've lost that, right? We've lost that. But Ten Hag is going to bring something in. It's the start of something new, start of something fresh, and start of something very, very exciting, man. Exactly that. I'm not used to it. That's why I'm not used to it at all. I'm used to us all being moody, pessimistic, and looking over at other clubs going, why can't my club do that? Well, our club has done that. Our club is doing that. And we've got Erik Ten Hag, baby. Ray, how you doing there, buddy? Biggest thing is Edward, we've gone for football-minded people start coming to the club, baby. Yep, we've absolutely done that. We've started to do that. More is needed. More is needed. This is not the end of the conversation. This is the beginning of the revolution. That's a good lesson. I feel like Lenin. Let me go down here and see what you're saying. Srajan, you're saying that we definitely lost that. We did lose that identity. I hope the fans give Ten Hag time. Ten Hag will get time, man. And that's something that I will. When you got a platform now of this size, there's a responsibility that comes with it. You have to send the right messages out because it can influence how people think. That's why I always that's why I was a bit reserved a little bit on the Maguire situation. But I feel so strongly about it, and I felt so strongly about it that I stand by doing those videos. But I will definitely be pushing hard, and I'll be doing research videos to try and not change the story, but make sure people are looking in the right directions on this is a long-term plan. Long-term vision. This is a 3-year plan. It doesn't fucking matter at the end of the first season if Ten Hag's lost the FA Cup in the semi-final and lost the League Cup in the quarter-final and we end up 5th. It doesn't matter in the long scheme of things. Ultimately, it'll be a frustration. Hopefully, we don't do that. Hopefully, we can get into the top 4. We can get Champions League football back. But as long as we are heading on the right path and we are going down there and I can see week in, week out incremental improvements and the squad and the players start really heading in that direction, I will support Erik Ten Hag and everything that gets done. No doubt we're going to get frustrated. He won't make substitutions early enough. Why is he not playing X player in midfield? The same sort of conversations that you have about every single football manager. And I'm sure City fans have about Guardiola time to time and Liverpool fans have about Klopp time to time. But I won't get bogged down in them. I'm always going to have at least one eye on that future. I'm not going to get distracted from the day-to-day, the week-to-week. And I would advise you not to as well. Try not to get sucked into it. Try and just stick behind what is going here. Al Gero saying Rooney is our assistant manager. It won't be Rooney as our assistant manager. It should be Mitchell van der Gaag. I'll be very, very surprised if it's not Mitchell van der Gaag. Oh, baby. Hello. Yeah. Now that's something we've been waiting for. How about that, ladies and gents? If that doesn't deserve a like on the video, I don't know what is. That is not a Photoshop. I'm going to put that on Twitter right now. I think I'm a bit horny. Let me save that. Oh, there's my downloads. Just quickly putting this on Twitter, baby. Don't get too angry with me. How good is that, though? How good does that look? How good does that feel? My. That is beautiful. This is called multitasking, people. Yeah, let me go full screen on that. Woo! Never get too excited. Look, somebody get Sam some new pants stat, says Ant. Well, you're not wrong there, but it's what we've been waiting for, man. It does feel a bit, dreamy is the wrong word. It just feels a bit odd. I'm not used to United making these sorts of correct decisions. I'm used to being angry about them and trying to change the narrative. But if that doesn't deserve a like on the video, then I don't know what will. That is beautiful. Erik Ten Hag is our manager. Hey, look, if anybody's got any more questions that you feel like I haven't answered, you fire them in for the next couple minutes, and I'll answer as many as possible. For anybody who's just joining in, welcome to United People's TV. The announcement has been made official that Erik Ten Hag is Manchester United's manager from next season onwards, and that is the first official photo of him with the United colours. I want to wish the very best to Ajax. I think that this whole announcement has been done with their best intentions in mind, to be respectful of Ajax. Mate, they're still in a title chase. I feel a little bit sorry for them that this has all happened as it's happened, but ultimately, this is football. This is football. And KC, ironically, with the name KC Reacts, telling me to stop being reactionary. That's quite fun. We've been here too many times. If you can't see, for the life of me, if you can't see how the Ten Hag appointment is different, then that's up to you. But it is. And I've told you why. Does it mean that we're going to win everything? No, it does not. But this is different. Cheryl saying, what if Erik Ten Hag can't get rid of the deadwood or underperforming players? He will, in the goodness of time. And he will have the authority to do that. That's something that he's built into his contract. Layden saying, well, how would you feel if Pogba signed a new contract at United? I'd be pissed off. I'm done with it. I'm done. I'm done. I've told you, I want that slate to be as clean as possible for Ten Hag. Pogba's an incredible footballer. I've no doubt that he'll go on to be an incredible footballer when he leaves Manchester United. But I'm done with it. I'm done with the circus, and I'm done with the repeated conversations. I don't want to waste any more oxygen on it. I'd rather waste oxygen being annoyed at a different player or being delighted with a different player that comes in instead. Simple as that. Great coach with great style of play and great ambition, says Hassan. Absolutely. Craven, you're asking whether Van Persie's coming as well. At this moment in time, we don't know. The Van Persie situation is developing. As I said, his son Shaquille plays for Feyenoord's under-16s, and he is the coach of that team. So there's family involved and also work permit situations. Let's see what goes on. I'd love for Van Persie. Why wouldn't I like for Van Persie to come back? I'd love for Stam to come back in a coaching capacity. I'd like for someone to come back like that. But we don't know who it's going to be. Look at that. I pronounced your name correctly. Woo! That was a difficult name, by the way. Recruitment is key, says John. With the amount of players leaving, get Gravenberch. We can't get Gravenberch. He's going to Bayern Munich. Haidara, of course, was the Ralph Rangnick type signing. Players of that ilk, don't think it's a good idea to blow 100 mil on Rice or Kane. Methodical scouting is needed. The concept of good scouts, the reason you would pay, I don't know, someone 50 grand a year, 100 grand a year to be your scout is that you identify a player who is worth 75 million, but 2 years before he's worth 75 million. And you sign that player for 20 million. And all of a sudden, in 2 years, you've got the growth of a player who's now worth 75. Christopher Nkunku, a perfect example at Leipzig. Signed by Paul Mitchell for 13 million. Now being linked with a move to United for 75 million. They're the types of signings that United have to make. Blending that with a top level, like Liverpool. Maybe Sadio Mane. No, Sadio Mane was signed from Southampton. He was ready for that next step up. But someone like Van Dijk was the missing piece. Someone like Alisson, they spent like 100, 150 million on those two signings. They weren't. They were ready-made. And they completely blended with those other people. It's a bit of both, man. Right now, I'm not saying that we don't need marquee signings. We do need marquee signings. But at the moment, This squad's not ready for those marquee signings. It's a bit like Ronaldo. Drop Ronaldo in that City team, dominates. He might have 20 goals for United this year. He probably have 35 in that City team because he would have been the crown jewel. Everybody else would have done the work around him, and it would have suited him. But dropping him in this United team, it hasn't worked perfectly, although he has still been scoring. We need those types of signings first. I've told you, I'd rather spend 100 million on two 50 million pound signings than one 100 million pound signing. It's about bolstering this squad in every single area and starting to really change this United team. And I just don't think really that one of those powerful big signings is exactly what we need right now. I'd rather have two lesser, if you want to call them signings, but signings that you identified from a scouting perspective that are going to do well for United. Simple. Abraham saying is Yuri Tielemans a good fit for United. Yuri Tielemans, as far as we know, is going to be like 25 million. Yuri Tielemans would be a fantastic squad bolsterer. Bolsterer? Is that a thing? Samuel Luckhurst from Manchester Evening News saying that during conversations with Murto and Fletcher, Ten Hag outlined his vision to build a successful and exciting team. They were struck by his passion, his energy, and his enthusiasm for a momentous challenge. And that's something I will probably finish on, and that's something I've always reiterated when it comes to Erik Ten Hag and it comes to this job, right? Because Gary Neville said that Manchester United has built a bit of a reputation as being a graveyard for reputations, and they gained a reputation for that. And I said, look, you can look at it like that if you want, or you can also look at it, Manchester United, as the single greatest opportunity that exists in modern football to go down as a top-level coaching legend. Jurgen Klopp has done that at Liverpool, right? He's written his legacy. And I think Ten Hag wants to do the exact same. He's a man that's clearly very ambitious. Would have been very easy for him to stay at Ajax. I think eventually he probably will manage Bayern Munich. I think it's always been his, because he spent time there under Guardiola as a youth team coach. He's kind of made it very clear from the start that he's never made it clear, but that's the way I see it going. And that's fine. But he can make the legacy at Manchester United. He can be that manager that brings us back to the top table. And I think he's got the ambition to do that. But ladies and gents, I've got a big smile on my face. You've got a big smile on my face. Erik Ten Hag, it's official. It's done. Let's start talking about tactics. Let's start talking about transfers, about signings. It's what I've told you. I was kind of waiting a little bit. Now it's done. Now let's get the conversations going. Let's see the centre-back that he needs. Let's see this defensive midfielder he needs. Let's see the striker he needs. Let's start identifying everything for what's happening next season. Because United, right, it's been bad. It's been bad for a good few years. But not that we deserve it, but I had a great childhood. Man United winning everything. My adulthood has been slightly different. But this hopefully will mark the difference of something different. The start of something different. Let's hope so, eh? It's not to say it's going to be perfect. It won't be perfect, but let's get that. I'm excited about Ten Hag. You should be too. Let's see what happens next. Thank you very much for joining in. That photo is great. I need to get that put on the wall there, don't I? That'll be good. I wonder if that get blown up. No, that won't blow up to A3. But look, thank you very much for joining in. Erik Ten Hag, as I said, is official. It's confirmed. Thank you very much for joining in for the reaction. I might do a video this afternoon. I might just have a little can. I should have had a can here, really. Although, it's 12 o'clock now. Damn it. I forgot the Erik Ten Hag cans. I'll have some water instead. It's called getting old days. But thank you very much for joining in. Enjoy your afternoon. I might be back later today, or I might just give myself an afternoon off. I haven't decided yet, but Erik Ten Hag is in, and that is all that matters. Official, done. Welcome, Erik.